One message from Charlie Kirk just exposed everything the public wasn't supposed to know. Nobody anticipated this moment on the internet. Just a moment ago, Candace Owens was airing her program as usual, with her incisive takes on power and politics. The next time, she drew nearer to the camera, her voice sank, and she revealed something that not even her most devoted followers could comprehend. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Charlie Kirk's letter to his wife has changed the game. As if on cue, the atmosphere surrounding her became cold. A real-time explosion occurred in her live conversation. The rate of message influx was outpacing the ability of her moderators to handle them. What is the purpose of this message? Could this be, Candace, dispose of the receipts? Subsequently, she inclined her lips in a gentle smile. No amiable grin. She has that one grin that lets you know she's got some secret knowledge no one else is prepared to face just yet. Charlie and Candace have been working together as one for a long time. In the midst of criticism and controversy, they supported one another, developed platforms together, and even shared stages. Although the partnership seemed flawless on the surface, there were always underlying cracks, rumors of unease, confidential disputes taking place off camera. There were whispers that their trust wasn't as strong as it seemed. And with that one statement, Candace made it clear to everyone watching that those fissures were ready to burst wide open. Given that Charlie's message lacked romance, it wasn't anything personal, that wasn't entirely innocent. That was risky. Something deeper than everyone had anticipated was revealed in the remarks he conveyed to his wife, according to Candace. Regarding allegiance, anything, the topic of secrecy. It was as if Charlie's family had eliminated Erica, the lady, from their lives entirely. Once again, the conversation flew out of control. Everyone went completely crazy. Surely this cannot go place. Almost ruining Charlie is Candace. Tell me what he said. After that, she proceeded as usual. With her last breath, she ignited a global inferno, to the point when nobody is happy. When she read the words that set off a chain reaction throughout the world, her voice became more aggressive. Why did we have to cut her off? What a threat she posed. The power was in her hands. Everything would fall to pieces if the truth were to emerge. Remaining silent was the correct choice. Wildness reigned on the web. Hashtags went boom. Twitter had a meltdown. Edits on TikTok were immediately available. What message did Charlie Kirk just send his wife? YouTube streamers yelled into cameras. Candace wasn't done yet. Leaning back with composure, she said, "The worst thing wasn't even that. Why was Erica erased? Was only part of the message. Perhaps that was a clue as to what she has to this day. Charlie will never be the same if it gets out." An advertisement came on screen. Immediately, the audience began to freak out. Digital battlegrounds emerged in timelines across all platforms. The worst betrayal in the history of the conservative movement, according to some, was recently exposed by Candace. She was undermining Charlie for influence, according to others. But now there was no denying one thing. Someone sent a message. I had it, Candace. What Erica's fans had suspected for years was validated by the words inside. It wasn't about her. The focus was on staying alive. The tale had been blasted to smithereens by Candace Owens. Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens worked together like two motors in a single machine for years. Candace would amplify Charlie's voice whenever he talked. It seemed like Charlie would always repeat Candace whenever she started a firestorm. Their relationship was one of alliance, they had a partnership, they were considered ideological siblings by some. But ambition-based relationships don't seem to last. A darker tension was simmering behind the staged broadcasts and staged photos. Trust, or at least the impression of trust, was the foundation of their relationship. Candace exhibited a demeanor that was resolutely assertive, remarkably intense, and characterized by an unpredictable nature. Charlie acted with method, patience, and strategy. When the dynamic first started, it was effective. Behind the scenes, Candace often pushed him, according to insiders. Choices were called into question by her. Loyalty was questioned by her. She asked him about his inner group. Time and again, the same name popped up. Hello, Erica. Someone who seems to have a close relationship with the Kirk family in the past, then disappeared without giving a reason. There was no goodbye. The public never heard her name. The story of her was deleted. Her whole existence was wiped out. But Dave Chappelle's bombshell receipts catapulted her back into the limelight. The sudden departure of Erica had long unsettled Candace. For more information, she asked. The question was asked again until she got her way. She observed the silence with focused attentiveness. Candace Owens demonstrates an unwavering intolerance for a particular matter. Silence is used to exert control. She started out by playing the game. At gatherings, she would grin beside Charlie. Out in the open, she defended him. In her role, she portrayed the devoted friend. On the other hand, she saw much too much happening behind the scenes. Whenever Erica's name came up, she could see that Charlie was uneasy. She overheard rumblings of a dispute. During intimate meetings, she could see the strain on his wife's face. There was a problem. However, she was unable to provide evidence of it. Everything changed when she stumbled across the message, how Charlie addressed his wife in his message, what she was trying to say throughout her live performance. All the public had suspected was verified by the message. There was no problem with the connection. Nothing was misunderstood. These were statements about command, about hidden information, about staying alive. The rumor mill said Charlie had let go the secret that had been circulating for years. Erica was not fired due to her betrayal. Her influence led to her dismissal. The evidence was in her possession, the archive she had, something that was too dangerous for people to be around. Charlie's wife, too, based on the message, was instructed not to speak, agree to erase Erica, and always keep it in mind. Upon Candace's revelation of this matter, this was not a rumor. A detonation occurred. During her reveal, the live chat was a complete mess. Supporters pleaded with, "Let go of the whole message. Charlie has done everything. It is evident that Erica was correct, yet her detractors were quick to condemn her. To get Charlie's attention, she's betraying him. Her alliances are being shattered, plus Candace couldn't care less." She was rather harsh in her description. Quite exact. There was no family involved in this. This was not an emotional moment. This was a plan. Despite her failure, Erica was not eliminated. Because of her extensive knowledge, she was deleted. What would happen if Charlie told his wife about it? "Thus have faith in me." There's a lot more he's trying to conceal. The air in the room became colder. Many watched her video again and again, with each break, each grin, each calculated phrase. Was she encapsulating the whole message? Was she trying to keep herself safe? Had she grander plans in mind? Just one thing stood out. Punishment was still meted out to Erica. Due of her dread, she was eliminated. Anxiety about her, concern for the potential consequences of her actions, archival anxiety. And if Candace possessed additional resources and decided to leave it all behind, she had already severed ties with Charlie, as well as nuclear repercussions. Because the most hurtful thing is betrayal. Coming from an individual who previously held a position of close association, its impact is particularly significant. With the remarks said by Candace Owens, the internet didn't only respond. An eruption occurred. Twitter videos became viral. Within minutes, your TikTok modifications would be live. Streamers on YouTube shouted over their mics. Charlie Kirk was found out by Candace Owens just now. What really brought down the web, however, was the message itself. The Charlie portrayed in those lines, the picture that he portrays on podcasts is not accurate. Stages, in-person interviews. There was a Charlie in that message was nervous to Erica, her authority, about the repository she established and the consequences that may result from it. The crowd went crazy. The use of hashtags became evident. Hashtag Candace exposes Charlie, hashtag Erica knows, hashtag Charlie message took over the page that showed trends. 500,000 people liked one of your posts. It is proven by Charlie himself. The whole time, Erica had the receipts. Something else went viral that made fun of Charlie for not saying anything. Odd how the room's strongest voice becomes silent just when you need him to. However, the reaction was as harsh. Candace betrayed Charlie's friends, tweeting nebulous statements like as, "Loyalty is confused by some. Choose your trusts with caution." Twice as hard was the response from her backers. You can't say that she betrayed Charlie. Erica was deceived by Charlie. The only one being truthful is Candace. In a moment, the motion broke. Suddenly, the first unexpected turn occurred. The internet was hit with an audio leak. Somebody with ties to Charlie's wife, so the story goes. The sound was muted, not very stable, but instantly identifiable, causing fans to freak out. In a low voice, what he told me was that Erica had evidence. According to him, she meticulously documented each detail. Because of it, they deleted her. He pleaded with me not to probe more. Would that I had no idea. We lost control over social media. Based on the authenticity of the video, Charlie hadn't simply told his wife the truth. He finally came clean about Erica taping him. She had an archive, he conceded. She had leverage, he conceded. She had leverage, he conceded. And that confession was recently made public by Candace. There were many theories about TikTok. Threads on Twitter went viral, quickly recording emergency episodes, podcasts declaring, "This alters the course of events. The recordings are in Erica's possession when a trap has been set for Charlie. This marks the start of the demise." Not to mention that was only the beginning. The controversy over Charlie's purported message ceased to escalate the moment Candace Owens revealed it. And it went off. Before administrators could remove comments, clips of her unveiling had already gone viral. A firestorm broke out on Twitter. The editors at TikTok moved at the speed of light. In a panic, YouTubers started live streaming the accusation that Candace had just publicly shamed Charlie Kirk. However, treachery wasn't the only issue here. The message was the main focus. Charlie didn't come off as the assured public speaker or astute strategist in those lines, which is why his fans looked up to him. Fear was something he was confessing to, terrified of Erica. Her authority filled her with dread. Worry that something terrible might happen if her archive was compromised in any way. Disparaging hashtags swept the internet. Hashtag Candace exposes Charlie, hashtag Erica knows, a tweet that garnered a substantial number of likes, said, "It is proven by Charlie's silence." Not even Erica was removed. The truth was with her, yet she was silenced still. The first aftershock, however, did not occur until thereafter. Someone stole my audio and posted it online. People thought it was Charlie's wife, according to the fans. Unsteady voice. Not loud enough to be audible. Erica captured everything, he informed me. She had evidence, he said. No questions, he pleaded with me. Would that I were unaware. As if on cue, the web froze. If the tape was authentic, Charlie wouldn't have just told his wife that he was in a panic. He acknowledged that everything was recorded by Erica. She has the archive, he conceded. She was not erased as a kind of punishment, he conceded. It served as a shield. Safety from the evidence she has provided. Emotional responses caused TikTok to explode. Everything was recorded by Erica. Her possession includes the collection. We underestimated the scale of this. Twitter escalated into a war zone. Put down the cassettes, keep Erica safe. Truth was spoken by Candace. There were a lot of theories on Reddit. Erica recorded what? She managed to capture which agreements? In that archive, can you find any conversations? And as the terror increased, the movement started to disintegrate, claiming Candace was ruining their partnership for publicity. Some backed Charlie. Some people thought it was foolish of Candace to pull Charlie's wife out into the storm, and they criticized her for it. However, her supporters persisted in their stance. The courageous Candace. The truth is being told by Candace. The truth can only be revealed by Candace. The situation then escalated. A brief message was sent, yet harsh. A purported group discussion involving Charlie's influential friends was captured in a screenshot that made its way online. Keep Candace under control. Erica will be triggered if she divulges the whole message. Everything will end if Erica moves. Down came the earth. Candace didn't frighten them. Their worst fears about what she would instigate were realized. The archive of Erica is being unleashed. This hashtag, Trigger Erica, dominating the TikTok platform. Producers were cautioned. If they force Candace to, there will be no turning back for Erica. A number of famous people were involved in the mayhem. A renowned rapper posted a public message on Twitter. Nothing else could compare to Candace's bold move. Former Hollywood star envisioned permanently removing someone from existence due to their extensive knowledge. Keep Erica safe. Reaction, however, was swift. Candace was accused by a conservative actor of lying to get publicity. His remarks set off a firestorm of criticism, with many accusing him of being a family ally and faithful Kirk supporter. No flinching from Candace. She grinned and said on her subsequent live stream, "They believe that they have the ability to frighten me. I am no longer recognized. They can force me to. Sure, I'll let the others go." Interactions burst out. Don't send the whole message. Let everything be known. Truth is what we seek. The second twist came next. Online, again, another audio snippet was released. For a prolonged period of time, more transparent, sure to be identified as Erica. Her tone exuded serenity. Cold. Of course, my presence caused Charlie to implore his wife to be quiet. It was obvious to him that I had evidence. The fact that I had preserved everything was obvious to him. I am become invisible by them, however they are. Unable to delete the recordings. Whenever I transfer, all of it will be regretted by them. The internet was rocked by the video, oversaturated with edits, TikTok. The recordings are in her possession. The conclusion has arrived. Everything was preserved by Erica. A social media frenzy ensued. Were calls recorded by her? Was data saved by her? Was she able to overhear discussions between influential people? Makers on YouTube have posted hour-long analyses, the archive belonging to Erica, the potential content of the recordings. To what end is Charlie being quiet? Furthermore, at its core, Charles remains silent. None of that. I don't understand. received no reaction. Being silent becomes a confession in and of itself. Then the leak that would have the most impact came to light. Only one page that has been scanned, uploaded without identifying information, accompanied with an unclear legal heading. Many believed it was a hoax, up until the highlighted line was visible to them. Subject: future plans for Erica's collection tapes, naming high-ranking officials, danger degree, existential, everything on the web dissolved. Existential, not humiliating, avoiding harm, existential, the type of internal threat that can bring down a whole kingdom. The makers of TikTok leaned in on the phrase existentialism like a caution flag. A plethora of more sinister than ever speculations sprang to Twitter. Financial fraud, confidential contracts, betrayals, current events. Contains individuals whose names are too obscene to be stated aloud. Finally, the knockout punch came. Still more audio leaked. Erica's voice once again, even sharper now. The men pleaded with his wife to keep silent. Their pleas were for me to be forgotten. However, I preserved the initials. Each and every recording was preserved by me. Whenever I transfer, it won't be Charlie alone. There will be no one left out. A bomb went off in cyberspace. Worldwide, #EricaArchive was trending. Supporters sent out a piercing yell. Nothing has changed for her. Release the recordings. Eliminate the database. YouTubers went completely bonkers. It has been verified. I agree with Candace. You can trust the archive. Throughout it all, without speaking Charlie, the anxiety was intensified by his lack of response. Anger and determination fueled Candace's comeback to her show. I bet you that I used my strongest suit, by a wide margin. If they persist in attempting to frighten me, things will be made public by me. By the time Erica relocates, nothing will be shook. The whole system will be rattled by it. She lost control of her conversation. Carry it out, put it all aside, kindle the flame. A countdown ensued throughout the whole controversy. The world's curiosity regarding Erica's possession of the archive had ceased. Everyone bought into it. There was just one more question. Can you tell me when she plans to release it? Upon her departure, and who will be standing? Now we've reached the story's climax, perched precariously on a precipice. Candace, keeping Charlie's message close at hand as a weapon. Dear Erica, unspoken yet more potent than before, Mr. Charlie utterly speechless in a jam when the clock ticks down. I must thus inquire of you this very moment. Can you predict what will happen after this? Do you think the archive is with Erica? Will Candace abandon the remainder of Charlie's message, in your opinion? Will Charlie be able to withstand what's to come? On the other hand, will its collapse be discussed for years to come? Leave a comment and tell me, where do you stand? Candace Team, the starter for fire. Members of Team Erica, the insider whose name was removed, or Charlie's crew, the leader encircled. Send a thumbs up if you believe the album should be released. If you would want to be notified of the next leak, subscribe now. Just so you know, the plot thickens. You may still find the archive online. Even now, Erica remains mum. Smirks persist on Candace's face. With Kirk's relatives, timing is of the essence. The moment the truth is revealed, as well as the fact that it's going to lead to more than just controversy. People will study this kind of collapse for decades. Keep yourself prepared. Reason being,